Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Rob and you are watching Outside in the 515. As you can see, we are not outside in the 515 today. We are inside because we have had rain and then a blizzard and then more rain and then more rain. So everywhere I want to get into to get wood is muddy. So that's going to have to wait a week or so until it dries out. But today what we're going to talk about is EDC, or everyday carry. The whats and the whys. Stay tuned. Okay, so everybody thinks, when you talk EDC, everybody thinks firearms. And we're going to talk firearms. But EDC, or everyday carry, is more than just firearms. It's the stuff that you walk out of the house with every day, or stuff you should walk out of the house with every day. And let me preface all this by saying these are my opinions. My opinions might differ from yours, and that's fine. That's what makes this country great. But this is what I carry on my person every day. Okay? So the first thing we're going to start with is my wallet. Just your basic wallet, credit cards, ID. I usually have at least a couple $100s in cash on me, tucked away in a hidden compartment, just because for emergencies. What if the electricity goes down and you can't use your card and you need gas or you need whatever? So it's always good to carry some cash on you, no matter what. Okay. The next thing that I never leave the house without, and is the second thing I put on after I'm dressed, is my watch. I never rely on my phone for the time. Now this watch is an Olives brand watch, and what makes this watch special is it does not take a battery. This watch is wound, and it has the year, date, month, what the military time is, and what day it is. Okay, something like this is the best watch to have, because then you're never reliant on a battery. Okay, you wind it. I wind this thing twice a day. I wind it when I first put it on, and then I wind it when I take it off at night. That way it's keeping time all through the night. Okay, but this watch also is kinetic, meaning that when I move, it winds itself. Okay, now a lot of watches like this cost $4,000, $5,000, $1,000, $2,000. This watch was $100. So your EDC stuff doesn't have to be terribly expensive. Okay. Now, does this thing keep the same time as, say, a Rolex or a Patek or a Tag Heuer or any of the other expensive brands? No. But it's good enough to let you know what time of day it is, what day it is, what's the date, etc. Okay. So this is the second thing I never leave the house without. The third thing is my pocket knife. I should have had these in order because I'm probably going to get them confused. This is just your standard. I think this is a Smith & Wesson pocket knife. It has a window breaker on it. It has a seatbelt cutter. It's got the serrated edges. It's very comfortable in the hand. It fits my hand just nice. It locks in place pretty good. So I never leave without a pocket knife, because you never know what you're going to have to cut open, cut off, whatever it is. Okay. The next thing is a flashlight. Now this is just a pocket flashlight, and I wear, as you can see, I wear bib overalls every day, and this fits right there nicely. Okay, I don't even notice it's there, and I've always got a flashlight on me. This takes a single AAA battery. I don't like the rechargeable ones, simply because what if the power goes out and you can't recharge the battery? Most people always have a pack of batteries here or there. We have 2 battery daddies that are full of batteries, but I'll get into what I carry for batteries later. So a flashlight, very important. The next thing is some kind of sun and eye protection. Okay. Now, I prefer Oakley's mainly for a few reasons. One, I'm a Gen Xer. And when I was a kid, if you had a pair of Oakleys, you were the coolest. But that's not the reason why. I've had these sunglasses for going on 7 years now. There's not one scratch on the lens. The frame is still in good shape. The nose piece, the rubber on the nose piece is still good. And these lenses are black iridium polarized. So when I was coaching my kids softball, I could be out in the sun all day with these things on, and I take them off at night. And my eye, you buy those cheap sunglasses and you're still squinting under them. Okay, these you don't have to worry about that. So spend a little extra one time, and if you take care of them, like I said, these are 7 years old and they still look brand new. I wear them every day. They don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere without these. Okay. Plus, it's always good to have eye protection, and more than one piece of eye protection is what I prefer. Okay, so the next thing is a pad and pen, because you should always be able to write something down. At least a pen. You can always write on your hand or whatever, but it's always good to have a cheap pad that you can buy at the dollar store or the Dollar General or wherever you get stuff cheap. Keep a pad, keep a pen. This pen is kind of funny because it's got a stylus on the end, so I use it a lot for when I'm editing videos and stuff like that. So it's a really handy piece. So that's that. Now we're going to get into firearms. And the one that I carry the most is a Kimber 1911. Make sure it's clear. Nothing down the pipe. Okay. This is, let's see, this is the Kimber Tactical Pro 2. Okay, this is chambered in 45 ACP. Okay, now, why I like the 1911s and why I carry a 1911 is because look around. I'm a craftsman. I'm a tradesman. I'm a worker. I'm an artiste, if you will. Okay, and a 1911 just looks like a piece of art. There's so many details to them. Down, if some of them have magwells like this one, there's a lot of work that went into making this gun. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to dispel some of the Kimber hate. Yes, for some reason, Kimber has a reputation of not being reliable, being way overpriced. I have never ran into any of that. I own many Kimbers. And like I said, this is the one I carry every day. And I would trust this with my life. I have only had one feed failure with this, and that was because of the magazine, not because of the gun. And I threw that magazine away and bought a new one. Okay? So Kimber is going to have more malfunctions than any other 1911 maker. And here's why. Because they make the most 1911s. Okay? They make more than your Nighthawks and your Wilson Combats and the Dan Wessons and all that. And they're not near the price. Okay? So that's gonna dispel the Kimber hate. Okay? If you don't like Kimber, don't buy Kimber. I like Kimber, so I'm gonna buy them. But why I carry this one is it's got the 4-inch barrel, and that's what the Pro means. It means it's a commander-sized 1911. It's got 8-round mag, and I usually carry 4 or 5 extras. Okay. Now, depending on what I'm wearing, if I'm in like some athletic pants or, a pair of gym shorts or something, and I want to carry, then I carry this one. Sure. Nothing down the pipe. This is the Sig Sauer P365 X Macro. Okay, it's got the compensator built into the slide. It's very compact. I don't know if I got a tape measure here. The slide is only 3/4 of an inch wide, so it's very nice for, like I said, athletic pants or you know, tucking it into a tight spot in your car if you wanted to leave it in your car. I don't leave it at this one in my car, but like I said, I wear this with athletic pants and whatnot. Now, the thing I like most about this P365 is yes, it is compact, but I have big hands. This thing has a full-size grip. So when you put the magazine in, that magazine sticks down just below my hand. Okay? Full-size grip. So it feels good in the hand. Feels real good in the hand. But very compact. You don't really even know you have it on. Now, this does have a Picatinny rail for a flashlight. I don't typically put lights on the guns that I carry just because I always have a flashlight on me or two. And the whole point of concealed carry is lightweight and nothing's gonna show. Okay, you start adding lights and red dots and all that stuff on it, it's just going to add more weight. If that's what you want to do, fine. Like I said, these are my opinions, but I don't put lights or red dots or anything like this one. I can't. It doesn't have a rail, so I can't put any of that stuff on. And I think that's why I like the 1911 so much more. Is they're simple. They're simple but complex. Okay. Now, the difference in the two is this Kimber is made out of metal. It's aluminum, stainless steel. This is mainly polymer. This gun has no life or no class. It's a very fine gun, shoots well. I own many Sig Sauers. I own many polymer pistols. But to me, they're just not a 1911. You're never going to convince me that these aren't classier than any other pistol out there outside of, a nice revolver. Okay. So that's pretty much what I carry on my person all the time. Now what we're going to show is we're going to show a bag. Okay. So hang tight. Okay. Now that we've covered what I carry on my person, this is something that I never leave home without. This is in the truck with me at all times. And some might call it a get home bag. It has been, some of these have been called a bug out bag, and that's not what this is. Bug out bag will have a lot of survival stuff, rain ponchos and portable tents and emergency blankets and stuff like that. This is not a bug out bag. This is a survival bag, a get home bag. It's a supply bag. Okay. Just like you keep, most people, and you should keep, this is not an opinion. You should do this. Most people keep jumper cables in their car. They keep tire patches and a tire pump and a spare tire. Why? Because stuff happens and it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay. So that's all this is. This is just stuff that you might not need. Hope to God you never need anything that's in this bag. Just like when you carry a firearm, you hope that, most of us anyway, I know I do. I hope I never have to pull that thing. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some of the stuff that is in my supply bag and I'll explain why I keep it. And we'll discuss some at length. Now, I should preface this. You've probably seen the USCCA sticker on it. I am not affiliated with USCCA. Frankly, I don't really care for some of the stuff they've done. I got a deal on the bag. I liked the look of the bag. It's well constructed and it was cheap. So I probably need to black that out next time it's going to be in a video. But I am not affiliated with USCCA. They are not a sponsor. So that's that. So first thing we're gonna do is I keep another flashlight, and this is just a cheap. I think I got this one on Temu. It was a couple bucks. A lot of what's in here is fairly cheap because some of this stuff, there's really no need to waste a lot of money. Now, I do have a better flashlight than this, a bigger one, and it stays in my truck. But this is just an in-case flashlight, right? So, like I said, I think I got this one on Temu for like $2. And I think there was a package of 4 of them. So I gave one to my wife and my daughter, and I think we have an extra one at home. And they were like $2 a piece. So that's that. The next thing I keep in here is, this is just, there's like a lens, there's disposable lens wipes. This is a lens wipe for like an AR-15 optic. This is a takedown wrench for a 1911. The Kimber Pros, they take a little pin to take them down instead of they don't have a barrel nut on them. They have a full-length guide rod, and you got to put a pin in it to hold it back. So I've got one of those in here. And then there's just a few Allen keys and stuff like that some of my firearms take. So that's that. The next thing I keep is a paracord bracelet with a kind of a crappy little compass. It's, like I said, I think I bought this off Amazon this came in I think I bought a survival kit off Amazon, and this was in it. But I keep it apart from that. So, like I said, it's just got a cheap little compass, but I think it's got 10 foot of paracord, 20 foot, all wrapped up into a bracelet. And I keep a couple rolls of paracord in the truck anyway, just because it's really handy to have. You never know when you're going to need to tie something down or anything like that. So, okay. And then I've got some CR2 batteries that a few of the things I keep in my truck take these batteries. So I keep a few packs of those on hand. More lens wipes. This is a lensatic compass. And I keep gridded maps in the truck. So if I ever have to get home, I have a good compass to do that with. And then the next thing I keep is kind of a cheap Swiss Army knife with a screwdriver, a corkscrew, another knife, a bottle opener, a straight screwdriver with a bottle opener. It's always, you never know when you're going to need something stupid like this. And this was something that when I was running my welding business, I bought a bunch of these for promotional deal, and I got stuck with a lot of them. So, because I ordered way too many of them. So I keep one of these in my pouch. Okay, and the next section, I do keep an emergency blanket. This was fairly cheap. We opened one just to see what it's like. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's probably better than nothing if you break down on the side of the road in the middle of a snowstorm, and probably better than nothing, right? These are 1632 batteries that my AR optic that I usually have with me takes. So I keep extras of those. And then I keep a pack of AAA batteries. Because why AAA over AA? All of my flashlights take AAA batteries. My good one that I keep in my truck, it takes 3. So I probably need to grab another pack of these. But I like the 8 packs just because they're easy. They're not as wide. They'll fit in the pouches better. So I always keep an 8 pack of AAA batteries. The next thing I keep in the bag is a speed loader for magazines. These are super handy to have, especially I don't so much need them with the 1911 because you're only putting 7 to 8 rounds in each magazine. What I didn't mention on that on that Sig Sauer P365 is it has 17 round magazines. And when you're trying to shove 9mm in that 17 rounds, you get to about 14. You really need something to help load that. So I think this is a Magpul brand speed loader. So I always keep an extra one of those. And then some of you might laugh at this, but I keep a pack of throwing knives. Am I a professional knife thrower? No. Why then, Rob, do you have? You can't laugh and shake the camera. Why, Rob, do you keep throwing knives? Well, I'm an adult and it's my goddamn prerogative. No. You never know. You can use these for more than just throwing. These are Smith & Wesson brand. They would probably make good wedges for something. It never hurts to have more than one or two pointy, sharp things on you at all times. Okay, so that's why. No, I'm not a ninja, even though I have been called a ninja at times. But that's why I keep a set of throwing knives. And these are just Smith & Wesson brand that I bought at, I think, Sportsman's Warehouse. They were fairly cheap. I think I got them for $50 or something like that. So they're probably not the best quality, but they are stainless steel. They are sharp, and they will stick into things. Kind of makes it seem like they'll work then, huh? Okay, next, in the next pouch is where I keep the first aid stuff and some survival stuff and some PPE. So I carry a couple of these trauma bandages. They are very vacuum sealed up. Again, this is one of those things where I hope to God I never need it, but it's better to have it and not need it. Okay, so I carry 2 of those. I need to get some more tourniquets. I don't know why I only have the one in here, but I usually like to carry 2 to 3 tourniquets. This, especially since I do a lot of cutting wood out in the fields and this and that. Like I said, this bag is always with me, and my truck is never that far away. And I'm usually never by myself. I'm usually with Sheila. So, and we all know how to use tourniquets. So Sheila knows where everything is. And I usually keep 2 to 3 of these. And I don't know why I only have the one. But it's always great to have a tourniquet because I don't wear a belt. I wear bibs. So these are great to have. Next is just your basic first aid kit. Bandages, a little bit of gauze. I think there's some stop bleed in here. I think there's some cotton swabs. An instant ice pack. So just your basic one of these. I recommend with first aid kits, I recommend that if you use one thing out of them, replace it. At least have a backup on you, because what if you need what was just there? Now you can refill it, but these generally aren't that expensive. I can't remember where we bought this or what we spent, but it wasn't $30. It was pretty cheap. So buy another one. Keep it on hand. Okay. The next thing is a survival kit that I bought, and it has just your basic stuff. I never have liked the case though. It had that paracord necklace or paracord bracelet. More paracord stuff. You can use this for fishing if you wanted. It has a carabiner, and I don't know the quality of this stuff. It does have another compass, but this thing is crap. I already tried to use it. It has a spork with a knife. Again, more pointy things. You can never have enough sharp pointy things in your EDC. Okay. Got a fire starter. We've got, this is a little saw rope that I don't know how good it would it would use. But I usually keep a hatchet in my truck anyway, and there's always a chainsaw or two in the truck too. So there's that. And then it came with a tactical pin. What's tactical about it is it's black and it's got a lot of ribs and shiny shit on it. But it also has a window cracker deal on it. Okay, so anything that is black or FDE that looks kind of cool is tactical or tactical. So that's that. And then the PPE is I always keep another pair of eye protection in my bag, and I keep more in the truck too, just because you never know. So it's always good to have eye protection and ear protection. Okay. Sometimes I use these when I'm cutting wood. These are Walker brand. They're the Walker Razor. They fold up nice. They are noise canceling. You can hook earpieces and mouthpieces up to it to, if you wanted to hook your walkie-talkies or whatever up to it, you could do that. These come apart easy if you have to have a tactical helmet. So I always keep a set of ear protection in there. Okay, and the last section of my bag is I keep a pair of gloves just in case. I keep a few extra 1911 magazines just because that's the gun I carry the most. So I keep some fully loaded magazines. I like the Wilson Combat brand. That's what these are, is Wilson Combat magazines. They're a little pricey, but they seem to hold up the longest. And I have had zero feed issues with Wilson Combat magazines. Even with using cheap ammo, sometimes when you go to the range, you're using cheaper ammo. Never had a feed issue with cheap ammo and Wilson Combat magazines in any of my 1911s, including Kimber. I keep a couple extra boxes of 45 ACP hollow points. These are 230 grain. No particular reason why I've got Sig Sauer ammo other than they were on sale. But I keep a couple extra boxes of these. I don't have it in here because I don't remember why, but I do usually keep a box of 9mm hollow points, usually 124 grain on those. And then the last thing is my ankle gun. I usually keep this in the bag, but like I say, if I'm wearing, if I'm trying not to print with anything, but I still want to carry, this little thing is handy. Okay, so this is my ankle holster, and it's pretty simple. Just wraps around your ankle. Okay, nothing spectacular about that. Pipe's empty. So this is a Springfield XDS 45 ACP. Okay, this is a 3.3 inch barrel. And yes, you heard me right. I did say 45 ACP. So yes, this is going to be snappy. If you're going to pick up one of these for an ankle gun, practice with it because it is snappy. This is a wrist breaker. So practice, practice, practice. You should practice with your firearms as much as you can. You should do lots of dry firing. Get used to the trigger, get used to the slide, get used to racking, putting your magazine in, racking the slide, doing the slide stop, all that stuff. You should be very, very well versed in the firearm that you're going to carry. When you carry a firearm, when you carry a firearm, you have a very big responsibility, not only for yourself, but those around you. So be well versed, be well trained, be well practiced in the firearms that you carry. The 3 firearms that I carry, I practice with them all the time. I shoot with them all the time. I know what those guns do. I know the take up. I'm practiced with that take up. Okay, with the reset. I know every inch of every firearm that I have. Okay, now the downside to this one, but it is just an ankle gun, is that they only have 5-round magazines. But this is not a I'm going to war gun. This is I need a quick shot. So, alrighty, so that wraps it up on what my everyday carry is. Sorry if I came across a little preachy on it, but it's something that I really am passionate about is firearms safety, firearms training, firearms in general. I enjoy that as much as I do going and buying chainsaws. But with everything that I showed, and I'm going to repeat it again, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay. And I personally believe that everything that I keep in that bag is something that I need to have with me. And most of us should, all of us really should have it in our vehicle. Okay. We should all have some kind of safety stuff. You might not agree with me. You might not think that firearms are needed, and that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to that opinion. This country is a melting pot, and variety is the spice of life, they say. And we all can have different opinions, and that's just fine. But I personally believe that everyone should carry a firearm if they're able to. So with that said, I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click all the bells and whistles at the bottom, and we will catch you on the next one.